Hey, all hump day is upon us, and we have 4 new bourbons to try, so that might get us over the top of the hill today to get through the rest of the week.
We might get demonetized, and you said hump.
You know,
this is well, it's not a kid's channel. If you're a kid, you probably shouldn't be watching it.
No, you should not. But that wasn't even my connotation that I was using there. It wasn't even my brain. Wednesday is considered hump day, sir.
I heard hump
it's the middle of the week.
My mind went elsewhere.
Of course,
but it's Wednesday.
And of course, I did it on purpose just to
throw off the whole beginning of the thing.
You.
Yeah, okay. I see how it is.
But we do have 4 brand new bottles that neither Trenton and I have ever tasted. And, true story, I haven't even taken a snort out of any of these. Not even a tiny sip.
So you got to know, sometimes when he gets something, a lot of the times either it doesn't make it home without being unopened. Sometimes it does make it home, and then he's like, oh yeah, I tried this last night. And I was like, we're going to do that for a video tomorrow. He's like, oh, I just had to try it.
I got to prep.
Yeah. So none of these several of these were at my house, so I know that he hasn't had those.
No, honestly, I haven't had any. There's a little bit gone here, but Kent's here with us tonight. He's helping me here at the house with a small project, and he had to have a pour of this while we're doing the show.
And I'm going to turn the fridge off because it's going to drive me insane.
I apologize for that. Again, I have slacked on my job.
I turned the furnace off, and we got to talk.
I know, that's usually your job, and I usually get the fridge, but there you go.
It's fine.
Turning 60 has its benefits, and it's not so good.
Well, people said that they couldn't really hear it anyways. It just drives me nuts.
It does.
Because I can hear it when I edit. But which side are we starting with here?
Well, I'm going to start on this side if that's okay because I'm going to go lower proof to higher proof.
Okay.
All right, this is 92 proof here. This is Bib and Tucker. Bib and Tucker 10-year. It's a Tennessee whiskey, Trenton. So I think I have the 6 and the 12-year over there, but truthfully, I haven't touched them in a long time.
So I got this because I know that you have the 8 and the 12 or whatever you have.
6 and 12. Yeah.
And I don't know that I've tried any of them before. Mm-hmm. Do you know if that's historically sourced, like George Dickel stuff?
You know, I looked up a couple of things, and it does say it's it on the back here, actually, Trenton, it'll tell you that it's distilled in Tennessee and bottled in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. So that'll tell me that it's sourced, and I did try to find it. Some people say Dickel, but that's in quotations. So okay. Don't really know for sure. I remember the 6 and the 12-year being okay.
All right.
Not up here, not down there.
You even get this little motorcycle fella
there. I did see that, yeah.
I don't know what that means.
That's kind of neat. I did find that it was non-chill filtered, so that's kind of a plus in my book. I left you left the sticker on it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I left the price sticker on it. This one is $82, $83 actually, $82.99.
Well, you know, Harry, he puts those things on. You can't get them off when they leave a smear, and then you got to put WD-40 on it or something to get it off. Or
stickers, Harry. Come on now. So
it drives me nuts.
Let's check it out.
Maybe this is Bib or Tucker, or Bib is the name of the motorcycle, and Tucker is the guy on top. I have no idea.
Is Bib and Tucker actually in many of the conversations, like in our Discord or bourbon circles in general? Because I don't really see it being talked about.
I don't really either, and it's just. I don't want to say it's a shame without tasting it first. Kent, have you ever had Bib and Tucker stuff? I'm putting you on the spot since you're here.
I was just grabbing my phone to look up a couple things out of curiosity, but no, I haven't.
Yeah, okay.
And I feel like when you associate a Tennessee distillate that is sourced, that's not Jack Daniels, you think, oh, this is sourced by Dickel. And Dickel doesn't normally have the best reputation for being really solid stuff. So maybe that's why it's not talked about as much. And I mean, a 10-year Dickel product, 90 proof for $82.99. Not the best deal around that you're going to get, but we'll see.
I'm wondering at this point, I'll almost put a bet on it that this follows the Lincoln County process of being filtered through sugar maple charcoal stuff.
Okay.
In Tennessee. I'll bet on it.
Now this is a dumb question maybe, but if it's made in Tennessee, does it have to follow that process, or it's optional, or if you want to call it Tennessee whiskey, you have to do that?
Yeah.
Let us know, because I have no idea.
I agree. I don't know for sure. I have some thoughts, but I haven't studied it out. I don't know. Facts.
It smells kind of like a crushed rock.
It does not. I was going to say it's going to smell like bakery crust. And when you said crushed, I really thought, my goodness, he's the same as me.
No, that's what I meant.
Honestly, it's not like caramel or toffee. It's not like that. It's a little bit lighter. There is some sweetness coming there. So to me, it's more of a kind of like a buttery,
a buttery, flaky crust?
Yeah, the buttery, flaky crust.
Those two people?
Yeah, that's hilarious, too. That'll be me and your mom one day.
I'm gonna pay to see that. It smells. It's okay. It doesn't smell just like crushed rock. I do get a little of like this minerality type, but there is some nice buttery type notes.
Yeah, but not a whole lot in the aromas, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, here comes that minerality, eh?
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not not the most complex. It's actually pretty thin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not it's not a bad pour per se. I do find some minerality in there.
Man, the nose is like 10 times better than the palate.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tad. I don't want to say it's rough. It's not my favorite. I'm also not a huge fan of A, George Dickel, unless it's their rye, and B,
I know.
that lower proof with that what we can maybe safely assume is Dickel source stuff. It just like really shines through. I don't know. Do they have a cask strength option?
And again, this is I don't know. This is a long time ago, a couple of years ago, probably at least with the other two that I have. I don't remember that minerality being that prominent in those. So, I don't know. Something to check out a little bit later, some other time. But
Okay.
All right. Well, that's that one for $80. Not so much in my book.
Yeah.
So, moving on here. I'm excited to try this one, Trenton. You got this bottle. This is Chattanooga whiskey, which I think they do a fantastic job. Most all of their products are great. What I love about them, there's all kinds of information all over this label. It's everywhere. You know, they've got, it's non-chill filtered. They got the age on here.
And what's the age?
The age is greater than 5 years. The finishing time was greater than 2 years. So roughly it was aged in new oak barrels for 3 years and then finished in for a little more than 2 years. And this is finished in white port casks, Tennessee high malt. This is a blend of 3 different mash bills into this product too. So about everything you want to know is on their labels and on their website, and I do really appreciate that and respect that.
So one of the things that I was confused about, and the only other time I've had a white port finish is with that Midwinter Night's Dram, their 10th anniversary rye that they did, is a white port finish. And I looked at that thinking, I thought ports could only be red. I don't know how that works. Again, I didn't bother to look it up before we did the video. So if you can give me a white port for dummies, like a snippet, the cliff notes in the
there'll
comments.
be folks out there, because I'm not a wine person either.
G-Man probably knows.
Yeah, he probably does.
Yeah.
I do enjoy, a bit of port now and then. I think it's really, really good. But yeah, this is looks really good. So I'm very interested.
I really like that nose.
Yeah, that is good.
It's kind of like you can tell that it's like a higher malt or like something. It's kind of a little bit more barley forward, I feel like, or something. Or maybe it's the white port.
No, I think it is. I'm catching more port influence on the nose than the malt. That's what I was looking for here. Let's see.
What do you think of the nose, Kent?
I think the same thing Kurt's saying. There's a strong port influence for sure.
Is there?
Yeah.
Do you know what white port is?
I don't know what white port is. The standard port wine I've had multiple times, but white port I don't know.
It really smells very nice. What's the proof again? 90? 95? 95.
That's very interesting.
Dude, that's cinnamony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got a lot of cinnamon influence. Wow. It does have some light berry notes to it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting with a white
It's
port.
basically just made from white grapes from Portugal.
Oh, okay.
Just white grapes. That's what makes a white port, I guess.
Oh, all right.
So then, adversely to your thought process, you were probably on your mindset thinking it's actually white. It's clear.
Yeah.
Port. I don't think it probably is it, Ken? I don't think so.
It wouldn't be perfectly clear. It'd be like a white wine look to it, probably.
Oh, okay. All right.
It wouldn't be red like the typical.
Yeah.
It'd be like a white wine where it's not clear like water, but
okay.
light.
Does a port mean it's from Portugal?
typically a port wine is a Portuguese.
Wow, I just had a light bulb moment. I'm proud of myself.
Welcome to the show of Trenton's Many Questions.
I like it.
That's where it derived from. I'm not saying that every port wine is Portugal. It's just that's where it derived from.
I need to sit G-Man down and have a chat with him about some wines.
You should.
Or Paul. Both of them are very knowledgeable.
Yes.
I like it. It's got this cinnamony type of thing, but it's like a spicy cinnamon. Almost reminds me of like a Mexican chocolate with like chili peppers in it that I've had before. Yeah. And it's actually very enjoyable. I like it. Yeah. It's very different.
Yeah, chili peppers is great.
Yeah.
Great note there, Trenton. I don't think the wine influence or the port influence, overrides the bourbon. I don't think so at all. I think it's a pretty good mesh.
Yeah.
I can't say it's one of my favorite finished, whiskeys that I've had. But I think it's pretty solid. Do you remember how much that was?
$59.99.
Okay, well, for that price point, I think it's pretty fair.
I actually, this is one of those that I think personally I could sit down with for a while and actually try and figure out what the heck's going on because it's very unique. I like it.
Yeah, real good. All right, buddy, we got here Prideful Goat.
This is one that I honestly haven't had a ton of experience with. I've had some samples of their 15-year Kevin L sent me, and the 6-year. You have one of the 6 years I think down here,
and I really like it.
And one of the cast strengths I've had, and this is 8-year Prideful Goat. This is a rye, straight rye. What is this? 122 proof, and it's 95.5. It says distilled in Indiana, so I could assume that's probably MGP.
Sure.
$94.99 I think is the price point on this.
Right about $100.
So when I see 8-year, I'm like, okay, Sagamore 8-year, and that's like an 85 or something. So that's kind of, I'm gonna try and go into this not like comparing the two head to head because they're obviously probably gonna be a little bit different. But
okay,
it smells heavenly, like bubble gum kind of.
It does. That's weird.
Kent, you got to try some of this, man.
We have to give him a different glass. You got. You good with yours or no?
Yeah, he's fine. This honestly reminds me of Sagamore Sherry. A little bit.
It does. I mean, it really, it would fool me big time on the aromas if I was trying to guess if something was finished or not.
Seriously, I would have guessed that this was finished with like Hubba Bubba. You just tossed a piece of gum in there.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah. It smells really nice.
Light spearmint.
Yeah.
A little light spearmint in there too.
Maybe that's where that gum's coming from.
Maybe.
Oof, man.
There it is.
There are like angels singing in my head right now.
There it is.
If you've ever seen SpongeBob come down with like the harp with the wings.
Yeah. That to me is like a rye whiskey lover's.
Kent's giving it the head nod.
I mean, you guys are the rye guys, but
no doubt it's rye.
I mean that's quintessential 95.5 rye. You get your herbal notes, your minty notes, but not overly the top of the minty.
I really like the herbal note that's in it. I've said this the last couple of times. It reminds me of a diluted Saint Germain elderflower liqueur with like bubble gum in it and a little spearmint.
I get a tiny bit of maple too, just a little bit.
I could see that.
Just a little bit. Just enough to carry the sip with the herbal notes and the minty, and then it kind of grounds it out with that slight maple.
Dude, I'm impressed. You got the maple in there? I didn't even pick that up.
Whatever.
No, seriously, that's good.
You probably thought it was crusty pipe or something.
Oh, I had it. No
Maybe.
Problem.
That's all right. Hey, everybody's got their interpretations, but
I might be taking this one home with me.
you should.
Holy cow.
You would enjoy that. I still have some of the 6-year left with I really enjoy as well. I think that's great. I have a question for you, Trenton. Do you feel it lives up to the $100 price tag? Personally, I don't quite think so, but that's just me.
I haven't had Sagamore 8-year in a while. I don't think I have one at home anymore. Going off of like my mental roadmap of what I remember it being, I think this is pretty darn close, if not like a little bit of notch above.
All right. And
so as somebody who loves rye, I wouldn't have a problem paying like $10 less, $5 less. I wish it was less than $90. But being sourced, being 8-year, I could see why it might be a little bit more expensive.
I understand.
I'm happy.
I understand, and that's why I asked you, because you have more of the rye knowledge of the group here. So,
Kent, what do you think about the price?
It's solid. I mean, I think $80 would be a
Yeah.
pretty acceptable price.
yeah, $70, $80 I think would be better,
You know,
but
it's just starting to push the envelope. We're at 90.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
if you are a true rye fan to the core, then it's probably worth it to you.
Yeah. Wow, that's gonna be hard to beat. Now, okay. The only reason, every now and then when I go into Harry's, I'll look and see what he's got that's new, that's maybe a little bit lower price, and I keep an eye out for you because I know that you like the lower price stuff, and you're kind of trying to come up with stuff that, well, not come up with stuff, but pick out stuff that's a low price point. That's a really good bargain.
Yes.
So he was telling me about
good quality
this.
for a good price.
Boondocks. This is their cast strength American whiskey, aged 11 years, 127 proof, and only, I shouldn't say only, $54.99.
Okay, so $55.
Yeah. Oh, for 11-year-old.
Okay, and I did. There's not a whole lot that I found on this. I did look it up a little bit. It's a high corn distillate, and it was aged in ex-bourbon barrels.
Okay.
So it was aged in ex-bourbon, which I think helps, with the whiskey. Lends to more flavor.
And I mean, bottled by, so likely they didn't distill this. They sourced it from somewhere.
I'm sure they did, yeah. From what I saw, it was 80 to 90% corn distillate.
Yeah.
That's all I really found. So high corn distillate aged in ex-bourbon barrels. That's all you really know on a whiskey like that, aged 11 years. My problem is that I'm going to compare it to Bull Run.
Yeah.
That's my problem,
that's
because that was like very good, but it was a 15,
same price point.
It's a 15, 16 year, whatever, but very, very good.
I like how you interrupt me and then still hit me. Like, that's just really icing on the cake. No, I'm just kidding.
When your mom watches this show, she's going to yell at me for that.
Oh, I hope she does.
For interrupting you like that. She will.
It's interesting because we've seen a lot of these American whiskeys come out at a decent age. Like, you had this at 11 years, you had the Penelope 13 and 15, you have Bull Run's 15 stuff, and I don't know that any of it is like their own distillate. So I don't know if MGP is coming out with American light or American whiskey, American light whiskey, that kind of thing. But I'd be interested to kind of know who the source is, if you happen to know more than I, because I honestly, again, I do no research. I don't know if there is an open source for
I did minimal and I didn't find that part. So there you go.
Ooh. This has like a nice butterscotch chip to it. It's like a dessert though. Like, it's a little bit more dense.
I can get some whiffs of corn in there too, though. Like a buttered corn, buttered cream corn. Ooh. Stuff you love.
No, well, it's like if you had like butterscotch corn instead of caramel corn.
Sure,
yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to dish you on your butterscotch note because it is there, but I'm definitely getting some corn influence on the aromas.
I'm also getting some like tire or something. And I don't know why.
Some asphalt?
More tire than asphalt. But,
okay.
You drive me by a road that's being paved, I'm rolling my window down. Then I get a headache.
Good grief. Huh.
Well,
127 proof.
Yeah, that's a hot one.
You feel it. You definitely feel it. It drinks every drip of that.
Yeah, it does.
127.
I remember, and I think I've told this story before. I was force-fed cream corn by my babysitter once, and I wasn't allowed to leave the counter until I finished the cream corn, and it just looked like vomit. It was abysmal looking.
Best babysitter your mom ever had.
No. So she said, you're not allowed to leave until you finish the cream corn. So I stayed at the countertop for like 2 or 3 hours until my mom came and picked me up. I didn't eat the cream corn. This reminds me a lot of what that cream corn smelled like. And it could be the trauma that I experienced by being forced to sit in there and smell the cream corn for 2 or 3 hours. Why did I even talk about that?
What do I say after that? I struggle sometimes. I do.
That's the first time that I said that, and I was like, I don't know what we're going to say after I just talked about that story.
Well, let's get back to the whiskey at hand. It's extremely hot. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I gather out of it. It even drinks hotter to me than the 127. To me.
You get a little bit of sweetness, like mid palate. I will say the mouth feels pretty nice, but it's like there's a lot of burn there compared to the flavor that you get.
And I'm still picking up a lot of corn notes. Mm-hmm. You can call it anything you want. You can call it cornbread. You can call it,
I get on board with
sweet
cornbread.
corn. You can call it whatever you want. Cream corn, which I was talking about. But there's a lot of corn influence on there. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's just a shame that ex-bourbon cask influence didn't translate into this whiskey as well as I would have hoped it would for me. I don't really get a ton of a very tiny bit of maybe some bourbon flavors coming through, but mostly hot and mostly corn related.
I can get on board with that. There's a little bit of sweetness. It's butterscotchy. The sweetness is nice, but you don't get a whole lot of it. It's just like, man, I really wish that was more present throughout the development of the sip. But it's not.
$50, not the end of the world, but I wouldn't buy it again.
No.
How's that? Not my favorite.
Well, with that in mind, what's your rank?
My lineup? Well, it's probably going to be the same as yours, Trenton. This Prideful Goat was really good. I have to say, even though I'm not a big of a rye fan as you are, it was still very, very good. So that takes my first place today. This takes second place. I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I thought the finish was spot on. I thought it was a good, solid pour.
Yeah.
This would obviously take third, and that would be fourth. So
we might differ on that one.
Yeah, maybe. And I know at times I can be more palatable to the Dickel notes than you can. I've noticed that at times too.
We're gonna flip flop on the 3 and 4,
and I can understand that after I thought about it. You have a hard time with those minerality type notes.
Yeah, I do. It reminds me of the Flintstone vitamins that I used to suck on a bit and then draw on the wall like a crayon. It takes me back and I can't do it.
You remember that 17-year-old Dickel that you gave me? That you bought it for some insane amount of money?
$250, yeah.
And it was one of those. And then you didn't like it at all, and so I have it down there. I have a pour every once in a while. Every once in a while I do. It's not bad. I enjoy it.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but there's an 18-year.
No, please don't do that. No. I enjoy it because you know why I enjoy it? Because I didn't pay for it. You did.
Accurate.
So please don't get the 18-year-old. I'm not up for that. How much is that?
$500.
Oh, no.
What I don't get is why
no way.
17 years $250, 18 years $500.
Why
are we paying 2x for the 1 year increase?
Absolutely not.
And it's not cast strength.
It's
not cast strength. So I don't know where that price is coming from.
You can't. Does Harry have that?
Yeah, he does. $499.99.
Oh, no. I've got no. Please. No.
Maybe.
Well, that's all we have for you today. I'm sorry we ended on that particular note, but
okay. Well, fun note. Stay tuned for Friday. We're gonna see which 90 proof. I don't know if we're gonna settle on 90 proof, but we had a lot of comments like the Bardstown Origin Series for around $40-$50.
That's a good
call. The Hard Truth. We had I'm gonna put Buffalo Trace in there. I feel like it should be in there.
Sure.
And there was another one I completely forget. So let us know what you want to see blinded with Buffalo Trace and the Hard Truth 90 proof.
Yeah.
And we'll take all considerations and come up with a blind for Friday's video.
Yep. I am more than happy to end on that note rather than the Dickel 18 for $500.
Yeah, don't do that.
Stay away from that. All right, as always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.